Hi there, thanks for joining us this Monday morning on the AM News Review. Let me also say a very good morning to energy analyst Kojo Poku and of course someone who is also vying for the NPP flag bearership at Salot. Kojo, a very good morning to you.
Hi, good morning to you. How are you?
I'm well, how about you?
You look very well this morning. I'm sure you have a very lovely weekend.
Not exactly, it was a busy weekend. And I filled my fuel tank with 544 cedis. So not exactly a majestic weekend, but yeah.
You see, there is a problem. And that is something that I have been fighting against in the last 2 years. When we have a window where prices are supposed to come down, you see how reluctant the OMCs are to reduce prices.
Exactly.
When there is an increase in prices, the first day, even some people increase it before the window. But this window, we are supposed to get something around 3% reduction at the pumps. And I've been monitoring Total, who sets a very bad example by hiking prices whenever there is a window that price has to go up. They are the first to showcase how high the price is. In this window, where they are supposed to give Ghanaians 3% reduction at the pump. Nobody, I don't know if they're going to do it this morning, but through Friday till last night, nobody has reduced their prices, which is something very bad. You know, that's why I keep saying that the deregulation is not working.
It's a sad situation. It really is sad, but we are where we find ourselves, and we are going to work at maybe, who knows what's going to happen within the next few weeks and months on the back of what is happening between Ukraine and Russia. My only fear is that usually when these things go up, they never come down. And just as you're talking about deregulation and all of that. But we pray for better times in that regard, because trust me, now it's becoming a moment of anxiety when you go to the fuel pumps, and because you'll start getting palpitations because, Charlie, you know it's about to go down. But moving away from fuel prices, let's talk about our men and women in navy blue. I'm talking about the Ghana Police Service. I always start, whenever there's any negativity about them, I premise whatever I'll say with the fact that they are fantastic. And especially under Dr. George Ekufu-Dampare, I must say that I am particularly pleased with some of the things they have done. But I've had cause. I discussed with you, if you recall, an incident that compelled me to go to the Police Professional Standards Bureau. I'm sure you recall that discussion I had with you. There's not been any finality. In fact, to give credit to them, I was invited together with my director that night, who was in my car, and we met these two police officers who interestingly gave a very different account of what transpired. We are currently waiting for CCTV footage, which still has not appeared. But there's another incident of a purported police officer, though the Ghana Police Service on social media has responded to the bid, who in broad daylight, I don't know what it was, whether the person had crossed him or something. I don't know whether you've seen the video, but...
No, I have not.
All right, so this person is wielding a sidearm, a pistol, and he basically gets into a bit of a confrontation with another person. The person goes to, and this person is way more muscular, by the way. I mean, if that firearm were not there, only God knows what could have transpired. The person goes to sit in his car and is trying to drive off, and this person, the alleged police officer, is using the butt of the gun to hit him and all of that, to hit the side screen. I mean, despicable on all levels. We've spoken about this thing time and again. I really don't know what else we have to say. Is it too much of the people getting in there, the infiltration from our political elements?
Yes, it is. It's the kind of people being basically putting through the police service. Look, in the past, people take a profession because they are passionate about it. Today, people take these security agencies' job because that's what they want to do, and they think it's the only thing they can do because there's no other jobs. So they are not passionate about being in the secret service. Look, right now, anybody that sends you a message, any youth, anybody you know who is unemployed, can I please get into the security agencies? Everybody wants to get in there, okay? So the level of professionalism when they get in, it is not to go in there and basically be police or be a fire service or be immigration. They go in there purposely as a job, and they carry themselves around as if, look, I know this person, I know that person, I'm in the police, what can you do to me? But I blame the police service. I think they should orient their personnel. They should take them through serious orientation, because the fact that you wear uniform doesn't give you any, okay, to speak to me or to treat me or to even touch me. That's the problem. The orientation is important, and that's something the police fail to do. Look, I've had instances where a police who is probably 15 years my junior, okay, has rained insult on me because I have the audacity to question him on something unprofessional that he's doing, and he just starts insulting me. And for me, yes, somebody must have gotten in there not being a very unprofessional person. But it's the training and the orientation they get when they enter the police service is what I blame.
Well, point made there. Let's dig into the Daily Graphic newspaper, shall we? Rush for school items shoots up prices. That's on page 16 of the paper. Of course, we're just talking about students going back to school, SHS1, and what that has meant for parents and teachers alike. But the story says parents and guardians buying school supplies for their children in wards who have gained admission to senior high schools are complaining about the high cost of the items, blaming it on inconsiderate traders who are cashing in on the situation. Over the weekend, there was significant rush for the purchase of SHS supplies in the central business district of Accra and other market areas ahead of the opening of school for first-year SHS students. Now, 2 weeks ago, the Ghana Education Service released the placement of candidates of the 2021 Basic Education Certificate Examination into SHS and technical institutes. It appears from time to time we go through this. What can we do, Kojo, when it comes to regulating prices? Here are poor parents, guardians. They say the time window is a bit short. True. But they are suffering the brunt of it because out there, and you know, if you are walking in the Kantamanto area of Accra, you want to purchase certain items, the prices are skyrocketing. What can we do about this?
Well, I think planning will help. Parents who knew their wards were going to go to school should have planned a bit earlier.
But the timelines were a bit hazy, right? The timelines were a bit hazy. That's the problem.
Well, what school the person was going to go to was a bit hazy, but you knew your ward was going to go to school. I mean, I don't think any parent thought that their ward is not good. The results came, they all knew what they got. What school they were going to go into was the haziness. So if you know your ward is going to go to school, I mean, you buy the essentials and put it back in our day when you buy your trunk and your chobos and put it there and start filling it from time to time. Well, that said, I think that, look, how many years have we been trying to pass the Consumer Protection Act? I mean, my uncle Capito's outfit, they have an act that they are pushing government to pass for how many years now? Government don't care. You know, it's very sad when parliamentarians say that they care about the people, but they can't pass the Consumer Protection Act. It's the longest since the Right to Information Bill has been passed. Now, the Consumer Protection Act bill is the longest bill in Parliament that has not been passed.
Right.
Meanwhile, they can pass things under emergency within 24 hours and 48 hours. It's a pity. But it goes to show you how much our parliamentarians care about being here.
Interesting point you make there. Staying on that same page, parents commend Education Minister, ask for reporting date extension. And some parents and stakeholders in the country's educational sector have lauded the Minister of Education, Dr. Yawase Educhim, for the peaceful and event-free school placement exercise this year. While commending the Minister for the smooth exercise, they have, however, appealed for an extension in the reopening date for fresh students of senior high school. So it goes back to what I was talking about, Kojo. They are lauding him for some, achievements in there. The placement exercise this year was peaceful, it was event-free by and large, but they are saying that the timing is too short. But let's get into this big issue. It's actually there on page 17 of the Daily Graphic newspaper, easing COVID-19 restrictions. And again, it goes back to something I was saying from the president's last address, the 28th address on the pandemic. I felt, honestly, and some have disagreed with me, but I felt that there was no need for us to go as far as saying it is no longer mandatory to use face masks, because the percentage of those using face masks in the first place was like this small. And by saying that, more and more people would not even do it. I am Catholic. The Archdiocese has come out with a statement saying that, well, the president has said what he has, but let's continue as we worship together. While it is optional, let's continue donning our masks and following the protocols. All that would not have been necessary if we hadn't gone out to blood. It's no longer mandatory. And I feel while we are not out of the woods and while we're in a good place when it comes to fighting COVID-19, these are some of the things you see. I spoke to some people yesterday at an event and people were like, oh, now more and more people, even when I went to certain places, people who would ordinarily wear masks are now putting them down. Your quick take?
Well, look, I keep saying that Ghana is a democratic country. We are not a communist country. We are not under dictatorship. We should take responsibility for the things we do as individuals. Look, why would you not wear mask if you think you are going to an environment that is not safe? Mask is to protect you and to also protect the person that you are going in the midst of. So the fact that the president came and used the word not mandatory, it means that, look, before it was a crime not to wear it. Now he's pleading that as individuals, let's keep up the good health practice and wear the mask. Now, if someone doesn't want to wear it, that's his own risk. But for me, I think as citizens, we should be responsible for our own actions. The fact that we always want something mandated is what is probably leading Ghana in the wrong path, because people feel that, well, it's not mandated, so I'm not going to do it. Oh, yeah, I will not be arrested, so I'm not going to do it. Oh, no, there's no policeman looking, so I'm going to do it. Those are the problems, the spirit of discipline or individual discipline thereof. And I think if Ghanaians are to take individual responsibility for our actions, we will not always need the president coming to mandate things. The fact that the president...
But especially as we know, Kojo, especially as we know that we are as indisciplined as you say we are, is that not more reason for, you know, for him to have...
Yeah, but we cannot have a police state just because
down.
We are indisciplined. Ben, we cannot have a police state because we are indisciplined. Then let's go back to the days of dictatorship where people are under certain strict rules and regulations. I don't think that's what Ghana wants. Look, we need to instill discipline, promptness, and urgency in the youth. For me, I think the adults, we've lost it, okay? For the youth, the kids coming up, that's something we need to teach them. Promptness, discipline, and urgency. We don't seem to have that in this country. And until we do that, look, we're going to be a country of blase, where we just don't take individual responsibility.
Right. Interesting how you threw that one in, blase. I didn't see that one coming. Anyway, so, but a quick one on the back of that. We also know that on that day, the land borders were reopened. Interestingly, I mean, we spoke about how that would impact business. But interestingly, our neighboring countries have still not opened their borders with us. The Ivory Coast, Burkina Faso, Togo as well. How do you see this dynamic? Because, and some people have questioned what engagement went into this with our neighboring countries, because we've reopened our borders, but they have still shut theirs.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because I know for a fact that the Francophone countries have been lobbying us for some time to open our borders. So I'm surprised you are saying that their borders are not open. Look, there has been a lot of engagement with our Francophone neighbors that they thought it was right, and ECOWAS has even come to say that the borders should be open. So I think it's just something that will happen very soon. Whilst we have been prepared and ready to open the borders and put measures in place, you might find out that maybe they are also doing the same to be basically put measures in place to open the borders. But I think in the coming weeks or days, they should also open their side of the border.
Nearly 230,000 people in the country are blind. That's according to the Ghana Health Service story on pages 24 and 29 of the Daily Graphic newspaper. But let me take a quick look at this one. I just want us to take a quick look at it, Kojo. Red alert, Ghana risks stone imports. Minerals Fund CEO cautions. Let me just give you a little bit of that story. The CEO of the Minerals Income Investment Fund, Edward Naya Kranting, has warned that the country risks importing stones.
What kind of stones?
And chippings. Hold on. From neighboring countries, stones and chippings from neighboring countries, if the rapid encroachment on quarry lands is not stopped. The laws governing quarries bar quarry operators from blasting rocks within 500 meters of human settlement. Encroachment on quarry lands has occasioned many casualties and even some deaths traceable to the activity of blasting. There is no specificity when it comes to which types of stones. But we know, Kojo, the stones we use for construction and all of that. I mean, I read the story and I was thinking, how? like how?
Not possible. Look, I'm a man of many hats, and Ben, it will amuse you that I'll tell you if I have a quarry in the Upper East region of
it wouldn't surprise me at all. It wouldn't, knowing you.
Yes, I do. I have a quarry. The land has been allotted to me. I have not started the quarry yet because I got that license when they were trying to do the Eastern Corridor.
Right.
And I went as far as Binduri in the Upper East area to find this land. And it's in Bazwa. And my greetings to the people of Bazwa this morning if they are watching. But anyway, look, I don't think it's possible. This is just something that somebody just wants to make headlines. The amount of granite that we have in this country, the amount of outcrop stones that we have in this country is not possible.
You're saying it's not possible. Let me ask you a pointed question. Are you following the laws governing the fact that you shouldn't be operating within 500 meters of human settlement, for example, where you operate your quarry? Are you sticking to that?
Yes, 100%. Look, at the end of the day, what are we talking about? We're talking about resettlement. So if you need to settle the community, you settle the community. And the point is that which comes first? Was it the quarry that was there before the people encroached, or people encroached onto outcrops? You see, granites are in two forms. You have them buried or you have them outcrop. Outcrop is when you see like a mountain where it's all granite. So if there is communities that have moved closer to these outcrops, then the best thing to do is to resettle them. And there is quite a very long stretch on the western side of the country. The funny thing about Ghana is that Ghana is split into two. The eastern side of the country, the Volta region, all the way to the OT area, has sandstones. They don't have granite. Granite is only found on the western side of the country, all the way from the south, all the way to the north in the Bolga area. And it crops up into the Upper East. So it's not possible to get to a point where we cannot find granite to do.
So maybe this might clarify for you. Quoting him, he says, "We are faced with an existential threat to the quarry industry. The problem of encroachment is incurably bad. If we do not do something about it today, there can be no doubt that within 15 years, the quarries in operation in Ghana cannot support the construction and infrastructure requirements of the country. We may then have to import stones from Togo, Burkina Faso, or the Ivory Coast in order to support our fast-paced infrastructural development." Is that possible? Well, 15 years?
No, it's not. The point, again, I'll make the point. People are reckless. People don't take individual responsibilities in where they build their land.
Right.
But then again, the point that he's trying to make is that if we have people living near these outcrops, when human settlement go near these outcrops, then it makes it impossible to mine these quarries. But then again, there is innovation.
Right.
Before, the law says 500 meters or whatever before. Maybe when innovations and technology comes up, we could be able to mine when people still live and then have a very communal living where there's a quarry not far from where you are. I've seen places where there are rubbish dumped 50 meters from people's houses and they still live there.
Okay. On the back page of the Daily Graphic, of course, Kotoko Pip Faisal to maintain a lead, still retaining that 10-point gap. Which team do you support again? You're a phobia man. Oh, no,
yes.
no. On that level, we will not be friends. Oh, why? No.
Oh, why?
Because I'm a porcupine. What do you say?
I know, but I'm the only Ashanti that doesn't have certain Ashanti traits. I don't eat fufu. I'm not a Kotoko fan. And that doesn't take away the fact that I'm a royal.
Sir. Okay, we'll trace those things. The two of us will do some retracing there. But at least one thing I share with you, I don't eat fufu as well. So, we'll find a substitute.
No, we have a substitute. Banku is okay.
Banku is okay. Have you ever had some very good lapewa? Do you like kokonte?
No, I don't eat kokonte.
You don't eat kokonte?
No. How can you not eat fufu and eat kokonte?
No, there's a difference. There's a very fine line. There's a very fine line between brown and fufu.
So I take it you eat yourself then?
Yes, I do. I'm a big fan.
Well, when I meet you, I'll ask you why you don't eat fufu anyway. Maybe about
let's wrap this expose. Ghanaian Times newspaper, local government minister tasks MMDAs to enact workable bylaws for citizenry to obey. There's 5 jailed 70 years for causing harm to retired driver. There's major boost for public transport sector as government introduces battery gas-powered buses. And 346,120 Ghanaians infected with HIV, Ghana AIDS Commission saying that. Let me just do this international story on page 5. Over 200 Malian fighters killed in military operation. And Mali's army says it has killed 203 combatants in an operation in the center of the Sahel state, with the UN peacekeeping mission in the country saying it has heard reports of civilian deaths, raising human rights concerns. That's it for the Ghanaian Times newspaper. Let's do the Daily Guide now. 1 dead in Elembele youth police clash. Again, these clashes, time and again, we hear of them. The last one that was of great consequence in Ejira and Kakamacho situation, still unresolved. Nana Markets Ghana in London, NDC drags sick MPs to Parliament, and EU-Ghana signed €203 million deal. I don't know whether I've had the opportunity of interacting with you on the e-levy since it was passed and given assent.
No, we have not. No,
right.
We have not.
Now that it has been pushed through, we've heard from Dr. Kenneth Ashigbe, we've heard from industry players, I think the Secretary General or General Secretary of the mobile money operators and all of that, and they're saying a lot of people panic withdrawals. We have a 1-month window to sensitize Ghanaians and get them ready for the 1st of May. From where you sit, what have you been hearing? What do you think? Kenneth Ashigbe says 1 month will simply not suffice. What do you think?
Well, I think it's a work in progress. Look, the bill has been passed. Me and you have spoken about my parts of that e-levy that I disagree with. The bit where it double tax people, the bit where if you go to a supermarket and you don't use money in your pocket and you decide to use mobile money to pay, you pay the taxes on the receipt and pay another tax, which by the fact that you are using a digital payment. I believe that now that it's been passed, government should sit with industry and stakeholders to fine-tune the bill. There's nothing wrong with passing a bill and then as you go along, make amendments. We can do amendment to the bill, and basically when we are now fully sure of the difficulties it poses to Ghanaians, we can now introduce certain technology to refine the bill. Like I've always said, we need to raise revenue. It is a step in the right direction to try and raise more revenue, but just trying to just take 1.5% of people's digital savings, for me, I think is wrong. So we should work towards refining the bill to make it better and more Ghanaian friendly. For us, it is now, a lot of people are going to say, look, I'm not going to use that service.
Mm-hmm. Just to wrap with some other headlines. This one, the Information Minister, Kojo Ponkroma, builds JHS block for Ayurebi Presby School, which is something of a positive development there. But when you go to the entertainment spread of the paper today on page 17, Black Sheriff tops trends in Nigeria. You want to know why? Omo Niger, them say he be Niger man. They are claiming Black Sheriff now. And check like, we lose God small, no, then go take him from us. But have you heard his new track, Kweku the Adventurer, something like that? Have you heard the new one?
I've not been following the music industry recently.
Right, it's one you might want. But
let me make a quick comment on Opon Krome's basic school that he
right.
For me, when I saw that picture, I'm like, look, this is what every basic school in Ghana should look like.
Really?
That is what every basic school in Ghana. It doesn't matter where it is. That is how it should look like. For me, I have, I've got the basic school policy where I think that we spend a lot of money in basic education for the kids to start early from 4 years. And the environment should be clean, the environment should be very appealing to parents. And what Opon Kroma did, congratulations to him, every basic school in Ghana should look just like that.
Okay. So that's the stamp of approval we get there. Republic Press, man 25 gets 10 years for robbery. There's President Akufo-Addo calls for lasting mining practices. And Dampari goes wild, chases a Siama police station rioters. There's also Kaswa Ranger grabbed for brandishing gun in public. And that's what I started talking to you about. The gentleman, you can grab a copy of Republic Press newspaper and you'll see his photos. It's also been trending on social media. The story is on page 3. And it talks about how the Ghana Police Service has confirmed the arrest of a man who went viral on social media after brandishing a gun while arguing with another driver on the streets. The incident is said to have happened on the streets of Winneba in the central region when the motorist was confronted for careless driving. In a video that went viral on social media, the motorist was seen pulling out a gun and assaulting the other driver. So he was the offender. He is an officer of the law, and he brandishes a gun because he has a sidearm and he can do that. I guess talk of impunity, right? But we've already gone there.
It's unfortunate, but I think that look, these people should be dismissed from the police service, period. Right.
Full stop. Simple matter. I'll tell you about something that stoked some controversy over the weekend. Dennis Apialabi Ampofwe elected NUG's president, and there were so many things emanating from this and all kinds of allegations, but eventually he has emerged the NUG's president. I bring up the story because it appears student bodies, well, if you pick Tescott and Tame, yes, they are clearly political, but our student bodies, SRCs and all of that, have become so political, you don't know where to draw the line. I mean, our political parties, I'm sorry to say, have taken over our institutions, educational institutions. And I'm sorry, but students are no longer, a lot of them are not thinking. They're only thinking politics, partisan lines. I feel we are treading on a very slippery slope as a country. Kojo.
Well, yes, very much so. Look, interesting you bring this up. Over the weekend on Saturday, I was in Winneba for the Tescoin homecoming for the University Education of Winneba. I was an invited guest at that event. And look, it's like you said, the Times and Tescoins are political groups on campuses, so you can expect their affiliation. But the SRC and then the NUGs and the entire student body, look, like I said, it is driven purely by monetary benefits. It's not driven by the passion of charity. It's not driven by the passion to do good. Students are now beginning to find that the only way to probably get something done or get some money in the pocket is to basically go and sell their soul to these political parties. If you are a TESCON member, 100% I support you. If you're a 10 member, 100% you're allowed to do that. But even if you're a TESCON member, it is ideas that you are supposed to cultivate on campus to help the party. An SRC person is supposed to be an independent body on campus for student representative. If you are not representing the student body and you're representing an interest group, which is a political party, then you're not doing the work you're supposed to do. But the bottom line, like I said, is the filtration or the infiltration of money onto campuses by some of these political actors. And it's very, very unfortunate.
Let's wrap with just about 3 headlines and then we shall call it a review. Ghanaian publisher Duncan Williams charges on rumor mongering, advocates legislation to deal with offenders. I don't know what your take is on that, but hold it. The Inquisitor, a very sad story, very, very sad one. Girl 10 crippled after being defiled and sodomized by 4 men at Idumfa. 10-year-old, her life practically ruined by these men who defiled her, sodomized her. 4 of them at Idumfa.
Well, Ben, I hope these 4 men, if they were caught in the act doing it, I hope they will not be taken to court because it's the waste of the court time.
You hope they will not be taken to court? Are you suggesting mob justice?
No. What are they going to court for? You sodomize a child and you are taken to court to plead not guilty, and then what? I'm sorry. You know, some of these things, that's where... But
Kojo, I disagree with you. The law is the law. The proper processes, even with a charge as high as treason felony, you can't just say, oh, these actions or comments are treasonous, so we're taking you to, or treasonable, so we're taking you to prison straight away.
With me. If you heard what I said if they were caught in the act. I'm not saying that if they were alleged. I mean, it's different if they were alleged.
But still, even on the face of the law, you can't do that. You can't say because I caught the person cutting off someone's neck, so we're taking the person directly to.
I go to jail for anybody who do that to my child, period. I'm going to jail for somebody who does that to my child. I don't really care about the court, whatever. I will go to jail for that. It's not this. Look, that's where the other side of me comes down. When you come to defiling a child, 4 men defiling a child, and if they were caught in the act, and you have to take them to court, and a lawyer will come and stand there and say, my lord, they plead not guilty. Please, I will go to jail for that.
That though, is the law. The final headline I'll run by you. Banks record 1.3 billion Ghana cedi profit for first 2 months of 2022. And Bank of Ghana surveys reveal business confidence declining. That's in the Economy Times newspaper. Those are the final stories, Kojo. Any final comments before we wrap?
Yes, it's a good thing the banks are doing well. My take on the banking thing is that those that caused the financial crisis in Ghana are still riding in land coolers. Nobody's in court, nobody's been jailed. We are paying for the cleanup exercise in the banking sector. We spent billions cleaning up the banking sector. From the governor at the time to the banking supervision directors, nobody is in court. I hear the special prosecutor is doing something. The arm of prosecution is very slow in Ghana. When are they going to go to court? When are they going to be tried? Look, let's just leave it here this morning, man.
Thank you so much, Kojo, for joining the conversation. But we're talking about our Black Stars, and today we're going to have an extended conversation on the Black Stars and their fortunes moving forward. How technical should they be? We're going to be interacting with Coach Ibrahim Tanko Muftau Nabila Abdullahi. Will handle that as we look at the prospects for the Black Stars moving forward. That is up next on the AM show. Do stay.